Hi there, this is David and welcome back to Let's Play Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel. Today we're going to be doing the Bite of Nostalgia quest and the North Cruisin Highway Monster quest. So let's go ahead and get started. We first want to go to Central Plaza and head off to that soiree, restaurant, whatever it's called, that we ate at that one time with Eustace. It was also where we did the Pink Bath Salts quest. So we're just going to head on inside and talk to Eustace's uncle. But first, I want to talk to this guy and buy some stuff, because he sells some food items that give you recipes and things like that, and it's probably another reason why I have, no money, because I actually care about these stupid recipes that I probably really shouldn't, but hey, whatever. It is what it is. Greetings and welcome! Hello, Hammond. We're here to take up your request, but I'd like to thank you for that delicious meal last night first. It was good. Oh, I'm pleased to hear that. Might I ask where Lord Eustace is, though? He was called back to the mansion, I'm afraid. We have plans to meet up with him in the afternoon, however. Is that so? It's too bad Eustace isn't here, considering this request is from his uncle. Anyway, about your request. Oh yeah, as you read, I'd like you to gather some ingredients for me. Are you all currently free? If so, I'll explain the details of what I need. Yeah, we can take it up now. Please go ahead and explain. The request mentioned something about making a nostalgic dish. Correct. Said dish isn't on our menu, but it's one that I would like you all to try. I assume it's a rather special dish, then. There's no doubt about how delicious it'll be if you're making it, at least. What kind of dish is it? Perhaps soup is the best way to describe it. I plan on making enough for all of you to enjoy, so please look forward to that. Huh, very well. What is it that you need us to gather, then? There are two types of ingredients I'd like to ask you to gather for me. The first is globby fat, which can be collected from monsters on the highway. I need 5 of those to be exact. The other is an herb used by the Septian Church to synthesize medicine called a healing herb. So 5 pieces of globby fat and a healing herb. And where do we get the herb from, then? You'll want to speak to Sister Tatiana at Berea Heart Cathedral. I'm sure she'd be willing to part with one. Just tell her that I sent you. Alright, sounds easy enough. Shall we start on the task at hand, then? Yeah, let's go on. Do this. So, yeah, I already have the pieces of globby fat. You can get those from the monsters on the North Cruisin Highway. And I got those pretty much whenever I was leveling up at the very beginning of this chapter. Whenever I needed, there was a little bit of a difficulty spike, and I needed to purchase some weapons and everything, and I had no money. So yeah. Oh, good day. Is there something they need from me? You must be Sister Tatiana. Would you happen to have a healing herb that we could take with us? Hammond from Sorcery told us that we'll be able to procure some here. Oh, is that so? I see. Would you mind waiting a bit while I prepare one for you? I'd kind of rather you have it in your hand. Here you go. We appreciate it, sister. This is an ingredient used for making medicine, isn't it? Is it safe to use for food, too? Of course, it's a very healthy ingredient when used for food. The only issue is that it's very bitter, so some inventiveness on the part of the chef is required to hide that. I see. Hammond must have some way of doing so, then. I'm kind of interested in how he does it. Likewise. Huh, same here. Well, thanks again for the help. Yeah, awesome. You know, I kind of appreciate the kind of sense of reality that the game gives you, where it says, well, we need this item, but I don't have it. Hold on a second while I go get it. But on the other hand, I also appreciate the brevity of, oh, you need this item? Here it is. It is a video game, so there should be some suspension of reality there, and I'd much rather they just say, you want this item? Here you go. Done, the end. Hello again. I presume you've collected all the ingredients then. Yeah, everything's here and accounted for. Here you go. Much obliged. Please make your way over to the table. I'll begin preparing the dish immediately. How was it? I call this dish Deluxe Herb Chowder. It was beyond delicious. I feel a sort of comforting warmth throughout my body after eating it. Wouldn't mind having some of this if I ever caught a cold. Yeah, I almost feel like a bowl of this might cure it outright. I'm pleased to hear that. You did mention that this was a rather nostalgic dish. I assume Eustace had it often then? That's correct. It was one of his favorite dishes even. To tell you the truth, the one who created this dish was none other than my sister herself. In other words, Lord Eustace's mother. I see. Well then. So that would make you his uncle then? Kinda surprising. Oops, we didn't tell you two about that, did we? My apologies. I was under the impression that you were all aware. I wasn't expecting his mother to be the creator of this dish, though. His mother must have been skilled at cooking if she could think of a dish this delicious. She was indeed. She would even come by and help out here from time to time. The first time she made the soup was when Lord Eustace fell ill during his younger years. She went to the church to ask for some medicinal herbs, after which she set about inventing a dish that would be both easy for him to digest and enjoyable to eat. Lord Eustace was always at the front of her mind. It really does sound like she cared for him deeply. And yet, he lost her 8 years ago. Sounds like he hasn't had such an easy life after all. Someone's thinking about you, sis. Who might that be? Certainly not me. I've probably said too much. I was hoping that Lord Eustace would be here to enjoy this too, but at any rate, I'm happy that I could talk to you all about this. We gotta learn a bit more about Eustace, so likewise. Well then, that brings my request to an end. Thank you all for your help. There's plenty of soup left over, so feel free to take it with you. Awesome. Thank you. And let me give you this as well. It's the recipe for the creamy chowder that this dish was based off of. It can be made with more common ingredients. If you have time, you should try to make it for yourselves. Sweet! So yeah, they also sell this from that other guy over there to the left where I bought the stuff from him, but I didn't buy that because you can get it for free here in this quest. So anyway, with all that being said, we need to head to the North Cruisin Highway to fight the monster there. He's in the very back of the highway over towards that bridge, so I'm going to meet you there. There it is. Looks as strong as yesterday's. That means we'll really need to be careful considering Eustace isn't with us today. Reen, I'm ashamed of what happened yesterday. I know that we've had our share of differences, but, well, He's embarrassed. Quiet, Fee, I'm trying to... I caused problems for everybody too. My injuries were a result of my own carelessness. Hopefully, by giving this fight everything that we've got, we can make up for this whole mess together. I'm counting on you, Machias. I won't let you down. I should hope not. So let's get started. And this guy can be a bit difficult if you don't know what to do, but I'm going to take care of him easily. So anyway, first things first, we're going to use Sylphid Dance and get rid of all these other little bastards hanging around here. And this is also fire elemental based, and these guys are all weak to fire, so that's pretty nice. So it should deal a nice chunk of damage to the main guy and kill off all of his little bastards. Next thing, I'm going to motivate everybody else to bring up all their strength. And then after that, I just want to analyze the guys, so I'm going to use her detector. That will make it easier for me to unbalance him, as well as get him analyzed. But yeah, he can also blind, which really, really sucks. So I'm going to use Break Shot on him because he's not blinded, and that will lower his defense. So that's kind of nice. Okay, there we go. So we're doing okay so far. Since we're blinded, what I want to do is use some just art attacks, and then I have a provision for this because I have Recuria, and that will cure everybody's status ailments. So go ahead and use that. I have that equipped on... Ugh, seriously? I have that equipped on Fee and on, what's-his-face, Machias. And since he's weak to fire, I'm going to be using Emma's magic attack for fire. The other three are not good at magic attacks, as you saw earlier. But anyway, keep on going with Break Shot with him to lower his defense. It says he's a 3-headed plant monster, stores impurities with his body, which then he sprays at his enemies. So if you wanted to, you could also equip accessories that will prevent the blind status. I don't think that that's necessary. Basically, just make sure that everybody has a way to attack using arts, and make sure that you have a way to cure status ailments, and you really should be fine. And you can either use Breath or Recuria for doing that, and then I'm going to have everybody else just attack, and Emma use her fire magic, and yeah, take care of that guy nice and easy and simple. Ooh, and we get the hair quartz. That allows you to run away 40% faster, I guess. It gives you a 40% increase in your chance of running away. We won! We sure did. And in doing so, I believe we successfully redeemed ourselves for yesterday. Good work, everyone. Suppose that gets a pass. I'm sorry, everyone. I've been dragging you all down. Especially you, Reen. I owe you double the apology. I'm sorry. Please, forgive me. It's alright, Machias. Don't worry about it. If I just answered you honestly from the start, all of this could have been avoided. So, if anything, I should be the one apologizing. I'm sorry for misleading you. No. Anyway, it's all in the past now. I'm glad to have you in our group, Machias. Same to you. I'm glad the two of you are finally able to make up. Ah, youth. Hey, don't make fun of us. So, as long as you're on a roll here, why not use this chance to make up with Eustace too? What? If you could just be more honest with one another, I'm sure even combat links wouldn't be out of the... Not a chance! My behavior towards you was wrong, and I fully admit that, but Eustace is a whole different story. He and I are fundamentally incompatible, and nothing any of you can do to change that. I guess getting those two to accept one another is still a long ways off. Well, we should probably head back to town, don't you think? Yeah, sounds like a good idea. Eustace should be back soon, too. I'm hungry. Didn't you just eat a huge bowl of soup, Fee? Anyway, I'm gonna meet you back in town. Just a little tip. Disequipped Machias at this point. Hold it right there! The Provincial Army? You're those students from Thor's Military Academy, aren't you? The ones who've come for a field study? Yeah, that's us. Is there some kind of problem? He's a perfect match for the photo. How convenient for us. What's going on? What are you doing? First year student Machias Regnit's correct. You're under arrest. Don't try to resist if you know what's good for you. What? What's going on? Wait! This has to be some kind of mistake. On what grounds are you arresting him? A number of charges have been filed, but the most egregious is the accusation of trespassing into Oryx Fort yesterday afternoon. Wait, do you mean when we saw that silver object? You can't be serious! I was near the fort at the time the intrusion occurred, certainly. But I was there with my classmates. If you aren't going to believe their testimony, then why am I the only one under suspicion? Every one of us here can vouch for him, and not just us. Eustace Alvarez was with us at the time, and he can personally verify that what Machias is saying is true. Huh, you'll have to do better than that. We're outnumbered. All you need to know is that this boy is a person of interest, and we have the right to take him in for questioning. There's no point in fighting it. You're coming with us whether you like it or not. I'm sure that we could take these guys. But yeah, we're just gonna be good students and get hauled off to jail. Oh, went from a party of 5 down to a party of 3. This sucks. Huh, who's there? Looks like she was right on the mark. And who are you? Oh, slick hair. Glad I came here from Legrand for this. But the question is, what's the best way to handle this situation? Get in there. Don't worry. Do as you're told and you won't be hurt. If you're found to be innocent, we'll let you out. Eventually. Damn it. How could I have been so careless? Considering Dad's position, I should have known this could happen. I wonder what his father does that would put his son in such a precarious position. As I keep telling you, Machias couldn't possibly have committed the crimes he's accused of. He's been with us ever since we arrived in Bereahard yesterday afternoon. He's never left our sight. So, if you really believe he was responsible, shouldn't you be arresting us as well? You're wasting your breath. Machias Regnus will be kept in our custody until he's been cleared of all charges against him. We've already contacted the Academy to inform them of this. You kids should just focus on your field study or whatever it is that you're here for, and let due process take its course. Unbelievable. Oh, and one more thing. Eustace's business at the Duke's estate will take longer than expected to complete. I'm afraid he'll be unable to rejoin you. That can't. Did this come from Eustace himself? Couldn't tell you. I'm just relaying the message given to me by the Alberea household, and don't even think of trying to go to the mansion to see him. You won't even get past the front gate. I'm betting they've had this whole thing planned since yesterday, which means the reason Eustace got called away is because they knew that if he were here, he may have been able to prevent Machias' arrest. I assume that's what you're going to say anyway. Makes sense. He was probably called home to keep him from interfering. Almost certainly, I'd say. It's past noon already. We should head back to the hotel. If Eustace hasn't left a message for us, we're going to need to start thinking about other ways to handle this. Let's break in, bust down the doors, and kick some ass! That's my way of handling this. But no, this is a JRPG. We can never just go the direct route. I'm terribly sorry. They insisted on conducting a precautionary search as part of their investigation. I believe they'll be leaving by this evening, but I'm afraid that's all I know. I see. We're very sorry for the trouble. I think that we should go. Yeah, I agree. Okay, ooh, we get the Earth Bell. Nice. Okay, so they wanted to go to the one restaurant, but the soldiers were there, so anyway, they go to some bar on the Artisan Street. This street, it reminds me a lot of the Harry Potter world at Universal Studios in Florida, if any of you guys have ever seen that. It's not covered in snow, but just kind of like the alleyways and the way that the shops are all so close together. It just reminds me of that a lot, and it's kind of magical. I love that place. So in all likelihood, the reason Machias was arrested has nothing to do with the incident at the fort yesterday. They just wanted him because his father's the imperial governor and a key figure in the reformist faction. Basically, they wanted a hostage so they could have an advantage in future negotiations. That does seem to be the most plausible explanation. They wouldn't hurt him or anything though, would they? I wouldn't be so sure. Tensions are high on both sides. Worst case scenario, they might use the threat of violence to get what they want. That's awful. This may well fall under the scope of our field study though. It may be risky, but how about we try to do something with the situation ourselves? I think that we should. We can't just abandon them. I'm in. Thank you both. I think our best bet here is to track down Eustace. There's no way he could have possibly been in favor of arresting Machias. I agree. This has to be a decision made by the Duke Alberio himself, but Eustace is locked up at home. Maybe his brother would help us? Rufus? He did have a pleasant demeanor when speaking with Machias yesterday, so he might just... But he said that he had business to take care of in the capital, and there's no telling when he'll be back from that, so I don't think that we can count on him, unfortunately. Got it. Then our only option is to break him out ourselves. Fee? That's a little excessive. Think about it. We have a perfect chance to bust him out while he's still at the guardhouse, but if they take him to the fort, we lose that chance, and we won't get another. Well, I can't argue with that at least. Alright, let's give it a try. Okay, if you're sure. We need to be as covert as possible though. If we get caught, it has to be after Machias is out safely. If it's before that, there's no way we can talk our way out of this. But the charges against him are obviously false, so if we can get him out safely, they'll be very limited in what they can do to retaliate. Yeah, and the provincial armies aren't going to want to do anything that will hurt their image either. If we can manage to get out of Berea, we're more or less home free. So no smoke grenades then. Smoke grenades? You don't carry those around with you, do you? What fair maiden doesn't? I don't even know where to begin listing what's wrong with that statement. Hey, Master? What are the monsters in the underground waterway like these days? Been 3 months or so since you last went down there, huh? Side note, look at the blonde guy's face. Look at where his face meets his ear and his neck. He looks like he's wearing like mime makeup or something, or he's like an old lady with like that pancaked makeup all over his face. He looks ridiculous. Guessing the place is probably crawling with them again by now, though I'm sure we're not going down to check. And it seems pretty obvious that the provincial army's got no interest in taking care of them. How can they even sleep at night knowing their beautiful city's got nasty monsters crawling around underneath it? I'd love to go take care of them myself if someone would just put a request in. Well, if I hear anything of the sort, I'll send a message over to Legram and let you know. Sure, it'd make you some good scratch. Cheers to that, Master. Alright, I best be going. Looking forward to dropping by for another one of your espressos sometime. Sure, I'll see you on the way back if you can make it. See you, mime guy. He looks ridiculous. Huh, don't see many people dressed like that around here. Those are some fancy red uniforms. You guys students or something? Oh, yes, sir, we are. We're from Thor's Military Academy in Trista. We were sent here for a field study as part of our curriculum. Thor's, huh? Pretty fancy place, ain't it? I've got no idea what they've got you doing for your field study, but good luck. Bereahard's a pretty nice city, but it's not without its fair share of problems. Excuse me. Do you know that blonde-haired man who just left? Oh, Toval? Sure, he's a bracer. A bracer? Huh. I haven't seen a bracer in a long time, probably because there just aren't that many around anymore. Yeah, there used to be a guild branch here in Berea Hard, but it's been closed for a couple of years now. Toval just comes by train from the Legrand branch every so often. Really? By the way, I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but I thought I overheard you saying something about monsters in an underground waterway? Oh, that? Yeah. There's a huge network of waterways beneath the city. Been there for a long time now. And it's chock full of monsters. When the guild still had a branch here, the bracers would clear them out. But nowadays, nobody goes near it, and the waterway is just sort of stagnating under the provincial army's control. Because they're too proud to trouble themselves with fighting monsters, of course. How much ground does the waterway cover? Supposedly all the way from the east side of the city to the west. So from the station to somewhere under the noble district, I'd guess. Heard a rumor a while back that it even goes under the Duke's mansion, but that's probably just one of those urban legends. How convenient. Yeah, so nice for this clue to get dropped by on a silver platter. It is a well-timed clue, Fee. Yeah, an underground waterway built in the Middle Ages that extends all the way to the noble district. It's almost too perfect. Seems likely it's connected to the provincial army's guardhouse where Machias is being held too. The guardhouse itself was probably built in the Middle Ages too, so that would stand to reason. If we can use the waterway, we may be able to rescue him without being discovered. Alright, let's give it a shot. I'm guessing that door on the far edge Station Street is the entrance to the waterway. I would think so. There must have been some sort of entrance for the bracers to get inside and exterminate the monsters after all. Roger that. And we will be doing this conveniently placed dungeon next time on Let's Play Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel. This has been David. If you like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. And have a good day.